let's kick it over to the mats. Greggy, give me some UFC.
Oh boy. All right. So we got UFC 259 this Saturday. The card that I've been waiting for since I saw this. It's been months in the waiting, and it's finally upon us. This Saturday night we have three title fights. I believe there's 15 fights on the card, and every single one of them, it's a great fight. We have. Hold on, I want to look just to make sure, but you guys may not know the name Kai Kara France. I believe
I'm
he
not good
is
with UFC names that we've proven.
right. Yeah,
How'd you
that
say
is
his name?
true. Oh,
Nurmagomedov.
yeah.
Never
All right.
been
Well,
told.
all right. It's not the same order anymore. But I mean, from match 15 to the main event, there's stars up and down, and it's going to be so much fun to sit down and watch. But I do have a few leans here that I am looking forward to. We'll start off with the main event: Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz. I'm going to go Israel Adesanya here to minus 240. He's going up a weight class from middleweight up to light heavyweight, trying to be a double champ. You know, I I think that Israel does it here. You know, Jan has not seen the likes of a fighter like Adesanya in his career. Yeah, Adesanya has a skill set that no light heavyweight has outside of John Jones, and I'm not familiar if him and Jan met in the ring, in the octagon, should I say? But I just see Israel stepping up to the plate, making this real fun, and taking home the light heavyweight belt, and we'll see where it goes from there. He has too crazy of a skill set for a guy that's just a pure striker. I mean, any fighter could get caught at any point in time, and that could very well happen to Israel. But I don't think he would risk his undefeated record to go up and not be like purely confident that he's going to beat the fuck out of this guy.
Hmm. I
So
agree.
that's my lean in that fight. And minus 240, it's not an outlandish price to go get him. Next fight I have, I'm gonna go Jermain Sterling at a minus 110 versus the champ Peter Yan. They're going for the bantamweight title here, and this has been a fight in the making for a long time now. Aljamain Sterling, he's been the number one contender for the title for almost a year now, and last time the title was up for grabs, he got they didn't give him the opportunity. They gave it to Jose Aldo, the number six fighter, instead, who proceeded to get knocked out by Peter Yan. I don't see that being the case here. Aljamain Sterling, just like Adesanya in the previous fight I spoke about, he has a skill set that Jan is not used to seeing. Sure, in the lighter weight classes at bantamweight, you have guys that can do a wide variety of things. But Aljamain Sterling, he can strike, and he's a submission artist too. Where Peter Yan is just straight up stand up boxer, and I feel if Aljamain is able to complete his shots and take Yan down to the ground, then he's going to be in a world of trouble, especially in a 5-round fight where he's going to be on the ground the majority of the time under Sterling's control. I just think it adds up to trouble for the champ. I may be a little bit of a biased man here for the fact that Aljamain Sterling is a local boy. He's from Uniondale, New York.
Yes,
I could
sir.
throw I could throw a rock and hit somewhere in Uniondale. So outside of that, I do think that he will win the fight just on the prowess of his skill set. Last fight I have here, we're going to go Casey Kenny at a minus 135 versus Dominic Cruz. Cruz has fought one time in the last 5 years, and this was after a 3-year layoff. He came back in a spot title match against Henry Cejudo and proceeded to get knocked out cold. This is just a bad spot for Dominic Cruz. I don't if he was coming back, I would think he would want to come into more of a prized fight like he did last time. But fact is, he's getting himself into a whole bunch of trouble coming into the match with Kenny. Kenny, he's he's a beast. You know, he's on a tear, and he's on the contenders list in that weight division. He's going to go up there, and he's going to continue to just do what he's doing. Uh, he likes to sub these guys out. Cruz, I've only watched him fight once, and it was the Cejudo fight, so I haven't really got to see much of him. But the fact that he hasn't fought more than once in 5 years, and this guy, Kenny, you know, he comes out once every 4 or 5 months, and he's just beating down on people. It gives me no reason in the world to bet on Cruz, especially at the plus 115 price that he's at. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to take the up and rising guy, and I think he's going to let Cruz know that it's time to leave the gloves in the octagon.
I love it. I love all of those picks. That's literally what I'm on. Is
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. Like I asked you, but right before we started recording, if you were on either Kenny or Cruz, and I was going to be on Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to most likely be on Sterling by submission. I'm just gonna. It'll be a side play, obviously, just because like this is one of the cards that I actually know decent about. I love watching Sterling. Like you said, he's a local boy for us. I followed him for a while now. And Adesanya is one of my favorite fighters. I would like to see. I won't bet on Adesanya until I see the weigh-in. I'd like to see how he looks. Just going up a weight class, going down a weight class, always kind of scares me a little bit. No matter what sport you're in, because he could come out looking bloated, could look a little fat. Not gonna like it. But he did say that he wasn't going to bulk you know how fighters when they cut weight, this or that, trying to get up to weight either way. Like when you're bulking, you're still gonna try to cut down, make sure you're underweight. He's not gonna like overeat or overhype after he said he's just gonna do his thing regularly. So I do like that, but makes me seem he might be a little overconfident. But I do want to see what it's like.
Yeah, I mean that's just his persona. You know, light heavyweight. It's 205.
Yeah.
I mean, Adesanya's he's going to come into that fight at like 193, 195. Blachowicz is going to come into the fight at like 220.
Yeah. I mean, there's power behind the 220, but there's no speed behind it, which I do like.
Exactly. He's got Polish power, but when it comes to...
he's also got Polish brains. No offense to Polish people out there, but if you're Polish, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're not going to use that sensitive term, but we all know what we're talking about there.
Yeah. I'm also going to... I have a parlay. It's going to be... Obviously, I don't know as much about UFC as you do. It's going to be Sterling, Adesanya, Islam... I don't know how to say his last name. Machekev,
yeah.
Machekev. Sorry, there's a lot of C's and H's, all right? And Kenny is going to pay... It would be paying out $498, which is essentially $500.